Whoa, I just bought out the entire store. We're going to be looking at all of these Tamiya kits today. We've got a lot of things to review today, so let's fire away. So the first car kit that we're reviewing is the Avante Asia Challenge 2024 Special. Pretty cool. At first glance, it looks like the only thing that's special about this kit is this blue chassis right here. A blue AR chassis, and we've not seen this blue AR chassis before. So this is a new thing. We've normally seen black chassis, we've seen colors that are like the standard colors, black, white, things like that. But have we ever seen blue? No. First time. Yeah. So, is this the same blue as the Korean muck frame? Let's find out. Okay, so here is a Korean muck frame, and here's the blue chassis with it. It's got these white parts that are made of palm, and so these white parts here made of palm have a very low friction quality about them. And so you know that FMA chassis, they usually come with palm parts that are for the rollers and the skid plate, as well as the motor cover right here. So the special thing about this kit is the palm parts. So we've got here special A parts, low friction resin A parts, gear cover, etc. in black. And we're talking about these things here, rollers, the front and the rear rollers, and various parts are made of palm material, special resin. So let's take a look in here. So here we've got standard ABS plastic white, kind of plain, right? Nothing special. We've got here, these are made of palm material, the special resin, just like FMA parts. Pretty cool, right? That's a first. Normally these are made of ABS plastic. Then we've got wheels that are just made of PP plastic. It's the same PP plastic that they always make the wheels from. So these are the wheels that you get. And then we've got this blue chassis, a special blue AR chassis. Now let's take a look at the color scheme here. Is this the same blue as this blue? Why, yes it is. It's pretty close, if not exact, right? It's pretty blue. This looks a little darker, doesn't it? This looks a tad bit lighter. So it's basically the same, isn't it? I think it's made of the same material. It's ABS plastic. Yeah, it is. ABS plastic, nothing special here. This is also ABS plastic blue, nothing special here. Now let's take a look at some other chassis for comparison. So here we've got these blue parts here on this, what is it? What was this one called? I forget this one. The Shining Scorpion, that's what it was. So this blue here is a lighter blue than the Asia Challenge Special. Also, that same blue appears on the Gunbluster XTO. However, the palm parts are the same blue as the AR chassis blue right here. So, there's two different kinds of blue here. Yeah, on this Gunbluster XTO. Okay, so now we see that the chassis color, basically like this Korean mock frame. And what about the wheels? What do you get? What kind of wheels do you get? You get super hard tires in here, imprinted with this thing that says on here, Asia Challenge. Yes. So look at these special wheels here in the package. Asia Challenge. Pretty cool. And the other parts, all the same. 3.5 to 1 gear ratio. We've got stickers here with this manual. Where are the stickers? Where did you put the stickers? It's underneath everything, right? Yeah, it's on the bottom. There we go, the Avante stickers. Pretty cool. As you see here, it's the special Asia Challenge one. Special red, white, and blue on top of silver foil. Very cool. So, even though I said that there's nothing special about this kit, there actually is something special, and it is, in fact, the palm parts. Pretty darn cool. And the blue chassis. Pretty darn cool. So, this is out for a limited time. Go get one if you can. Check it out, see if it's any faster, better, more stable perhaps. Don't think so, but I think it is a little faster with the slick palm parts. So go get it, it's out now at your favorite store. Our next kit here, look at this one. It's the Cross Spear 01, pretty cool, and look at these green wheels here. Very cool, green cross-spoke wheels in the Cross Spear. Very cool. Now, at first glance, this looks like it could be a ray spear, right? It's got the same styling as a ray spear with that swept Indy 500 kind of look about it. Let's take a look more closely inside and see what is in store for us here. So the box actually makes no mention of anything special. It looks like the body is made of ABS plastic, the chassis is made of ABS plastic. There's nothing special about any of the items in here. They're super hard tires. Some people might go ape over those. But yeah, I think the cool thing about this is this ABS plastic cowl right here is this light gray material, which is not very common. So I don't get to see this a lot in a lot of mini four-wheel drive car kits. However, in order to get the colors that you see on this box right here, you're going to have to hand paint everything yourself, or spray paint if you can use masking tape on this. But pretty much if you just build this right out of the box, then you're not going to get this wonderful color scheme here. And you see the person, the little person is kind of like built right into the body shell right there. So that's good and bad, right? That gives us a standard to go by, right? Because if you had a separate person with a little double-sided sticky tape, the way that you can adjust it in the car seat will allow you to modify its characteristics. So by that I mean you can move the character a little bit more forward for more front weight, a little backward for more back weight, or right smack in the middle for mid weight. And you can also shift it left and right too. So you have those options when you have a separate character that you can adjust inside the seat of a car. Here, everything's bolted in there, right? So you really can't make any changes unless you cut this part out and shift it around a little bit, but you shouldn't be doing that because that's not box stock anymore. So remember, if you're racing box stock, you want to try to keep all the parts as they are without making any modifications to the cowl. No cutting, no cutting and regluing, things like that. What they don't quite specifically say, and it's implied in the rules, I think, but if you were to cut out more than what you see here, so let's say instead of cutting all the way to here, I wanted to just leave this stuff out for whatever reason. Nothing in the rules seems to prevent you from doing that. However, there's like an unwritten rule that basically says that your car should basically look like the picture on the box. So let's go with that. Whatever you see that's on the box, that's what your car is supposed to look like. That's the box stock rules. So we're supposed to be talking about the spirit of box stock. And the spirit of box stock is your car should look something like what's on here. Now, the biggest problem with talking about that, about the spirit of box stock and car kits and stuff like that, and how your car should look like the car in the box, is there are no rollers on here. So that's kind of implied that you're supposed to be racing this with rollers. So if your car is supposed to look like something that's on the box, then shouldn't the rollers be here too? I mean, look at these other car kits here. The rollers are on the box, right? Also, the rollers are on the box. However, the rollers are not on some of the car kits on the box. So that rule of looking at the car on the box isn't quite right. So I think really, if you wanted to be a little more strict about box stock rules, you should really take a look at what's in the instruction manual. Okay, so the instruction manual here does not have any rollers on the picture either. It's basically a copy of what you see here. However, inside the instruction manual, it actually talks about adding the rollers. So really, the spirit of box stock is this. It's not necessarily what's on this cover right here. It's what's in the instruction manual. So what you're supposed to do building your car, it's supposed to be based on the instruction manual. So that might seem like a very obvious thing, but it's not obvious to many people who are trying to understand the rules totally, especially newbies who don't understand what's going on here. So really, you're supposed to look at all the pictures on here in the instruction manual, and you're supposed to basically build your car kit based on the instructions, and that's what box stock is. So if you look at the final end result of the car, you will see right here on one of these final pictures right here, you can see it's very lightly drawn here, but you can still see, you can see that there are rollers on here. So really your car is supposed to kind of more or less resemble this. Now some people start doing things like reversing the rollers and maybe repositioning the rollers. Like for example, there are two holes on an FMA chassis rear plate where you put the rollers on, and some people choose to put it in the first one versus the rear one. So there's two options there. Which one is the correct one? Well, according to the instructions, you're supposed to put it in the forward one, not the rear one. However, for additional stability, you might want to put it on the rear one, because then your car will be longer and it'll be more stable on certain racetracks. Yeah, so a lot of people take a lot of liberties when trying to interpret the rules that are in the instruction manual also. So yes, some people decide not to put the motor cover on, and according to the rules, there's nothing that says anything about removing parts. So you can actually not have a motor cover covering your motor, and that's perfectly fine. You can subtract parts, but you can't add parts. So what that means is you get a set number of screws, for example, in your car. And so if you want to add weight to your car, you just can't take additional screws and start plugging up all the various holes on your car to add more weight to the car. That's a no-no. So even though that's not stated in the rules, even though that's not stated in the instruction manual, it's kind of a given that you're not supposed to use additional parts that did not come with your car kit. Now, if you happen to get a car kit, a lucky car kit that includes an extra screw in it, you can place that screw wherever you want, because that's something that came with the kit. Some kits have that one lone extra screw, and sometimes people wonder what that screw is for. It's for minor adjustments, yes. Now, other car kits don't include that screw, so you cannot take a screw from another kit and put it in with your kit. You have to use what's in the box. Also, we can talk a little bit about using the box and using the instruction manual as also parts of a car, and depending on the rules, depending on your event, that may or may not be allowed. In general, it is not. So try not to use the instruction manual or the box to add additional weight to your car unless your event says that you can do so. So, pretty darn cool. So here, the cross spear. What do we get with this? So sorry for the delay, but we had to have that little bit of intermission to talk about the rules. So here we have something that we've not seen very much before, which is light gray for the body cowl. Pretty cool. Yeah, and the person kind of fused in there. Now, those of you who know the Glitter car, that's a pretty sweet looking car. And it looks like almost like something out of Tron, the movie Tron. And there's a person in there that you can remove and put in, and you can glue it down. You can also use the double-sided tape to kind of stick it in there. And yeah, it's pretty cool looking. But this one has that person kind of already bolted in there. It's part of the cowl already. So what does that really mean? It means that everybody's going to have a consistent kind of body cowl here. So everybody's body cowl is going to weigh the same. So the only things that you can really adjust then are how straight the shafts are, how much you oil everything, the motor, the strength of the motor when you break in the motor, things like that. So those are the variables there. This is no longer a variable because it is bolted in here. This person is bolted in here, so you can't do any adjustments there. So that's no longer a variable. So pretty cool. Now, what kind of tires do you get? Do you get super hards? These are super hard tires. They don't have anything fancy on them. There's no writing on them or anything like that. These are plain super hard tires. So what else? Do you get palm parts here? Let's see. What are these parts? Are these palm parts? I think no, they're just ABS plastic. What we talked about before. The AR chassis car kits from before the Aero Avante Asia Challenge, they were all made of ABS, and this one also. This VZ chassis comes with ABS parts for its rollers. So these rollers are not as slippery as the POM low friction resin rollers. So here, all these parts are standard ABS. What does that exactly mean now? That exactly means that these are going to be sturdier parts than the POM resin parts, but they're also not going to be low friction like those parts. So those of you who like racing FMA chassis and love the resin parts, you're out of luck with this particular kit because it's got ABS parts. This here is your standard fare VZ chassis. Nothing special about it. It is ABS, nothing special. We've got here, the only POM parts are, the POM parts that usually come with VZ kits, which are these bearings, right? These are the POM bearings that you can cut out and insert into the wheel wells right here for your wheels. And here, something kind of cool and special right here, these green cross-spoke wheels. Yeah, a lot of people think that these are like the hot new thing, right? So you can actually buy these separately. And yeah, you'll get green wheels for your car. Pretty cool. So the sticker set, your standard fare paper stickers on silver foil paper. Yes, pretty cool. Green, black, white, a powerful combination here. Very, very cool. So, Cross Spear 01. The special things are the cowl, basically. That's about it, and maybe the green wheels. And that's basically it. Nothing super special here. This is like technically a standard kit because item number begins with 1, so it's a standard kit. It's going to be out for a while. It's probably not going to be a collector's item anytime soon, but just buy one anyway and keep it on hand as a collector's item kind of thing, just in case. Because who knows, like mock frames ended up being collector's items after a while. This one, depending on how much it's used and how fast it is, it might be a collector's item too. So we'll just have to wait and see. If we get to see more races with them and see this like blow out other people in box stock, then yeah, this might be a cool new car that might blow out people in box stock. Remember I talked about my Aero Avante Jr., which I called Wolverine. I called it the next box stock killer. And the reason why I said that was because this VZ chassis car is lightning fast. It is lightweight, it is fast, it's a monster. And you have to know how to adjust things on this car so that you can make it super fast because it's so lightweight. So if you get the one that's the Super Avante Pink Special, the black pink that I called that car black pink, that one was a box stock killer for me. And yeah, it was as fast, if not faster, than my mock frames. Yes, depending on the track that you race on. Pretty cool. So every car actually is and could be a box stock killer if you run it on the right track. But really, FMA and VZ chassis cars, those two are like lightning quick on most 3-lane tracks. Very cool. So our next kit to review is the Avante Mk.III Azure Clear Special. Pretty cool, and this one has a specialty item number that begins with a 9, and so it's a special limited edition car. And many of you have probably seen the other one that came out recently that also was an MS chassis car, and it had the same coloring as this, and so this is the Avante Mk.III version now, and let's take a look at what's inside. So, what is special about this car? Well, first of all, I don't particularly like MS chassis cars for box stock racing, but this one has such special features in it that it might be worthy of mention. So here we have these big arched tires. Yeah, these big black arched tires, and they're printed with Tamiya Sports on the side of it. What does it say exactly? Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive Sports. Yeah, so right there. These are beautiful tires. They're big, they're beautiful. And you get these big 5-spoke wheels with them. Yeah, pretty cool. And what else do you get? You get ABS parts for the polycarbonate shell here, right here. The polycarbonate shell, folks. You can get such a lightweight car by having your car be polycarbonate shell. Now, some people have asked, so can you race polycarbonate shell cars in box stock? Well, yes, you can. So long as a polycarbonate shell came with your box stock car, then you can race it. Now, just because you have the lightest car, because you've got a polycarbonate shell, does not always mean that you're going to win a race. In fact, I've seen many polycarbonate shell cars totally lose and end up being faster, but way too fast and course out. Or I've seen regular cowl cars beat out polycarbonate shell cars too. So just because you have a polycarbonate shell does not mean that you're always going to win. It doesn't mean that you're always the fastest car either. So keep that in mind. Remember, stability sometimes wins out over speed. So here we have the chassis itself, and it should be made of ABS parts. Let me just make sure here. ABS parts, I don't see it there, but I probably see it in the rear. Let's see, it says, yes, ABS parts. So here we have the chassis itself in 2 parts. Yeah, pretty cool. And, oh, that wasn't the chassis, I'm sorry. That's all the stuff that goes on the chassis right here. The chassis has one of those dials rather than a switch. So here it is, and this is also made of ABS, I believe. It is. So ABS parts for all of this stuff, and then you get, you get 4-to-1 gear ratio with those big arch tires. Now, this is a pro chassis. But there's a little suspect right here. There's a little sus. The fact that there's this hole right here, and this shaft is poking right out of it. So I wonder if this is going to be a straight shaft. Let's find out. I'm always a little suspect of shafts that are not quite in the package. So make sure when you look at your packages, when you look at these little packages here, make sure that it's stapled shut properly and not tampered with. Because sometimes, depending on where you get the car from, how it's been stored, or lots of different factors, the shafts might not be totally true. And it might just be that it's a manufacturing defect. So it might not be the shop's fault at all. So let's take a look. Okay, it looks like it goes through. Whoa! This is a hollow shaft. You get hollow shafts with this. Does it say that you get hollow shafts? Polycarbonate body. Special edition. Guys, I think you gotta buy this. Let me see the other shaft. If the other shaft is hollow shaft also. I wonder if that's why it poked through so easily. Yeah, this pokes through so easily through here. Hollow shafts are a little pointier than regular shafts. It's a hollow shaft also. 2 hollow shafts. Guys, this is why this kit was like $15 and something, because you get these 2 really straight hollow shafts with your car. Now this is really special. Not only do you get the polycarbonate shell, you get 2 hollow shafts. So hollow shafts are technically stronger than those steel shafts. They're straighter also. And because they're more lightweight, this car is going to be a speed demon. Already it's a speed demon because it's got a 4-to-1 gear ratio with these big arched wheels. If you get a single shaft car, they normally give you a 4.2-to-1 gear ratio gear, not a 4-to-1 gear ratio gear. So this is going to be faster than all those single shaft cars that have the 4.2-to-1 gear ratio. And it's got the hollow shafts. And it's got the polycarbonate body. This kit, my friends, is truly, truly special. Darn, why did I open it, right? I think I need to get another one. Yeah. Get it. Get this before they sell out of this. Get this now. Yeah, I highly recommend this now. It's got hollow shafts. That's incredible. And let's take a look at the stickers. The stickers are... What's going on here with the stickers? Are they clear? Printed on clear? It's clear vinyl. It's clear, like plastic stickers. Guys, this is so awesome. They're vinyl stickers, and that makes sense because they are supposed to go in this polycarbonate shell. So you want plastic stickers, clear plastic stickers for your polycarbonate shell. And make sure, guys, when you paint this however you want it, or don't even paint it, you don't have to paint it, you peel off this rubbery layer that's on top. See, it looks a little dull right now, but if you peel this off, you're gonna get this really shiny exterior on your shell. And you might not even want to put these stickers on. You might want to save these or sell these, because these are, if you just sold these stickers to somebody, you could get at least a couple of dollars, maybe even $4 for them. So yeah, this part here is worth something in itself. Maybe it's worth more than $4, I don't know. But the hollow shafts, the hollow shafts are, how much are hollow shafts? Let me take a quick peek here. Hollow shafts from Tamiya, new 4-wheel drive. Hollow shafts, $2. Wow, pretty cool. So yes, that's the bonus items that you get in here. The polycarbonate shell, the hollow shafts, the big arch tires, and the fact that you're getting this 4-to-1 gear ratio. This is going to be a super fast car. The only big negative is it is an MS chassis. So yeah, that makes me a little suspicious of this running on modern tracks. So yeah, back in the 90s, MS chassis were king for box stock. And for modern tracks, it's just not the case anymore just because they course out a lot. So let's take a look at the next car, shall we? The next one we have is the Victory Magnum Premium Carbon Super 2 chassis. Pretty cool. Now, these Super 2 Premium kits, they're kits from yesteryear, I believe, 2011. Yes, that's when it says the copyright was. And these are, I think, reissued kits, and they come in these thinner boxes. Usually, the modern Tamiya kits come in these bigger boxes, and these Super 2 Premium kits come in these thinner boxes. I have no idea why. These kits sometimes pack as much or more things than these kits that come in the bigger boxes. So I have no idea why they pack them in these smaller boxes, unless they're for nostalgic reasons. Maybe they originally, since they were packed in thinner boxes, they wanted to keep the nostalgia. So anyway, we take a look at this. This looks like one of those classic design cars. It doesn't look like a modern, sleek, awesome car that people would want to race these days. It's got this kind of like older look about them, and so if you're fans of the Let's and Go cartoon, you'll see cars more like this than you will like this. This is meant for realism, this Toyota Supra, and this is not new either, but it's much newer than this. So let's take a look at what's inside this one, see what's special. So the first thing that you'll notice is it says Carbon Super 2 chassis, so that's special about it. And you can see the picture on the front, it's kind of like got this kind of like gritty look about it. That's the carbon reinforcement. Another thing that's super cool about this, from what I see, is it's got fiberglass reinforced 3-spoke wheels. These white wheels here, they're slightly off-white. They're like an eggshell color. They're like light, not quite white. They're like not white. And so here they are right here. You can see white looks like this. Here's what white looks like. And here's what off-white looks like. So I call it an eggshell color because it's not quite white. And so this is fiberglass reinforced here, which means that they're supposed to be stronger than the typical PP or ABS plastic. So here is the ABS parts for the body cowl itself with the classic styling right there. It looks almost like the Shining Scorpion, a little bit like that. So this is ABS, I believe. Let's take a look. This is ABS. This is made of PP, folks. Now, PP plastic versus ABS plastic. So this is ABS, this is PP. So PP is usually what the wheels are made of, and they made the body with PP also. And I don't know, which is the harder plastic? I thought PP was just kind of crap plastic. But let's see, PP versus ABS strength. And I could be wrong on that, and I probably am wrong on that. Let's see. ABS is stronger and harder, it says. ABS will show less shrinkage than PP during molding because of PP's semi-crystalline nature, so tolerances generally can be slightly tighter using ABS. Also, ABS is less prone to warp than PP. So what this tells me is, I don't know why they make wheels with PP plastic. They made this also with PP plastic, which kind of tells me that this is kind of like, is it more bendable? ABS is supposed to be stronger and harder. PP is supposed to be more prone to warpage, so it's more bendable. I don't know. Do you actually want this in PP versus ABS? I would think that this should have been made in ABS plastic also. Very weird. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm kind of like wondering. So here we get these tires here, and these tires are like the ones that you get in the Carbon Special. Remember I think it's the Tri-Dagger Carbon Special, and you get these funky tires right here with the treads on them. And so I don't think they're known to be like Speed Demon-like tires. They're actually not super hard, but because they're so small, they could be basically super hard. So I think they're just regular hard tires. And you've got narrow fronts and wider rears. And so, yeah. And they're black, so that's cool. Now what about this? Is this just ABS plastic here? No, this is the carbon one, right? It's carbon reinforced. Let's see. Let me see. Carbon reinforced. Yes, it is PACF, carbon reinforced plastic. It's just not the dull, kind of squirrely looking plastic that we saw on the box cover itself. So that threw me off a little bit. But yeah, this is supposed to be carbon reinforced plastic. So there you go. And the instructions, the old style instructions, as you see here, and paper stickers, as you see here. Okay, cool. So the only things that are special, the carbon reinforced chassis, perhaps the PP plastic body, and the fiberglass reinforced wheels. So, pretty cool. This kit here was on the pricier side. It was $21. So only time will tell whether the $21 is truly worth it for this kit. We're gonna have to build it and see how fast it is, and then time will tell. So I have my doubts about it, but we'll see. Now we also have, last but not least for the mini four-wheel drive car kits, the Toyota Supra. And many of you probably have seen or played with this already, but this is a newer car to me, so I'm just going to open it and review it, and let's see what's special about this. So from what I see here, the tires are not super hard. They're kind of soft. And it's got the fin spoke wheels, and it's got 3.5 to 1 gear ratio, so it looks like your standard fare Stora type car, or Ignition, or Vestagiani, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's nothing super special about this car except for this beautiful cowl right here. It is a beautiful red, and it looks like a car. Like, look at that. It's really nice looking, I think, and the price is right too. It's not very expensive for this car kit. I think it was like $13 and something for it. And it's got a chassis that says it is just ABS plastic, I think, right? ABS plastic chassis. Let's see. It is, what's it pointing at? ABS plastic, yes. ABS plastic chassis. It's got, oh, are these POM right here? These are POM parts right here, yes. So yes, like all MA chassis and FMA chassis, you get POM parts. So these nice low friction resin slippery POM parts that are for the rollers and the POM bearings and all the parts that are inside, the skid brake right here, all POM. These tires here, kind of soft, kind of squishy, so they'll be good for after landings, that's for sure. There won't be a bounce. So that's about it. That's about as nice as you get with that. And you have here fin spoke wheels that are in gray. And let's take a look at the stickers here. The stickers are hidden underneath the yellow instruction sheet. In here, we have these paper stickers that look like they could be foil, but they're not. So yeah, again, nothing special about this kit as I presumed, but it's got that beautiful cowl. So if you like the cowl, you'll definitely like this kit. And you know what? The price is right, like I said. It's not super expensive. So if you're building a car kit for the very first time, an MA style car kit for the very first time, you could do worse than purchasing something like this, because this looks cool. Like, who doesn't like a Supra, right? Pretty cool. Very, very cool. So yeah. And then, last but not least, and it's not a car kit, it's a robot. It's a fighting robot. So this is a remote control boxing fighter. And you basically can remote control this. It's not exactly a true remote control because it's got like wires coming out of this thing and it's attached to this. So it's not like an infrared remote control or something that's wireless. It's actually wired to the controller, and you get to move the robot around and punch and do an uppercut. And it comes with a motor that looks suspiciously like a rev-tuned motor. So it's going to be a very fast kind of punching action on here. So yeah, it's got this ball that you can practice punching with. And I don't think it would be a good idea just to get one of these. So I bought two of them. So yeah, that way I can control them and someone else can control the other, and we can have pretend fights with these robots. Pretty cool. Sort of like the Rock'em Sock'em robots from the 1970s. So this is like the modern day version of it, and I don't know how modern this is really. Let's take a look. When was this made? That's about how modern it is. So hold on, let's see. Whoa, 2003. That's a long time ago. Huh. So yeah, that's over 20 years ago. No wonder why they were in sale. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I saw like a little demo of them, and people were using them to punch each other out with this, and it's lightning fast apparently. It looks like it could be fun. They also sell another version of this, two differently colored robots, and you use the box lid as the boxing ring. So they decided to charge $73 for the privilege of having the two differently colored robots, along with the use of the box as the boxing ring. So I don't think that's worth it. I think you can create your own boxing ring out of a spare box. So yeah, it's cheaper just to buy these individually and then have your own boxing ring that you make yourself. Pretty cool. Yeah. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.